We're 100 days from the election now, less than. I have a hard time believing the Wayfair thing based on the Russia. Mostly anything dealing with Russia, I have a hard time to believe.
You fill 1,700 pages, and maybe you'll want to write more of them. I mean, everything we're talking about, you could have a page and a half.
And maybe they'd read more of them too.
Yeah.
Because the long form discussion is taking over these news segments, are taking over these spoon-fed, prepackaged media sound bites that we get every day.
Media. Yep.
Do you think anyone on the left should have been blamed for this?
The insurrection?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the entire media.
And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Hey everyone, Dave here, December 1773. With me, as always, is Ryan. This is episode 61 of the Weekless Show, all of the week's hottest topics with a twist. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. And I got a headline coming up on Facebook I'm going to smack you right in the face with. Which
is a pretty in-your-face joke.
Something some people are used to. Ryan, before I get into the headline segment, do you have anything for our viewers other than telling them to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel?
Before we get into it, not really. No.
Ryan has contributed nothing so far to the show. It's okay. He'll have plenty to say.
I'm waiting. I'm holding my voice.
Let's get into it.
All right.
Headlines. I saw this right before we went on. Facebook leaders are reportedly worried their service has gotten too big to control. We created the machine and can't control the machine. First of all, why are they worried about controlling the machine?
I could talk like 3 hours on this.
Perfect.
So like, what's the? So what are they trying to say? That a robot should do it? Let's go there first. Science fiction full. Like a robot controls it now. This is out of the realm of human control. Then why fucking make? So you're admitting we made a system that we can't even maintain. We can't even put a cap. We can't put an end mark. We can't like corral it. We can't. So the very thing you have made Pandora's box. You have to destroy it.
Yeah. Yeah, so let me predict the future real quick for you, Ryan. And believe it or not, this is something we've talked about in the past, very recently. Didn't we hear something recently about the government working with Facebook to combat misinformation?
Mm-hmm.
This is weird. It's weird. It's almost like that they're asking for some help and assistance in controlling this machine that they've created.
Yeah, I wonder if this is the reason to destroy this. Maybe this is part of the Biden Build Back Better infrastructure system, that they implode social media and then they have a government-operated agency that is the Department of Social Media.
That's weird. Do you think they would do such a thing, Ryan? I mean, when have we ever seen the government create these unelected bureaucrat agencies to control things that they're not supposed to control? We've almost never seen it.
Yeah, not just to mention that we don't have private property rights anymore because we openly let the government violate it for a biological problem. So the idea of, like, I don't know, philosophical freedom has taken a backseat to a biological problem. So the few years that we would suffer from COVID is more important than the thousands and thousands and thousands of years after of civil liberties. So since we've openly violated the very tenets of our society to like the individualistic level, and that's why people got to go to court to fight for fucking freedom, to just run a business. Yeah, that's exactly what the government's going to do. There's a reason that these people come out and have these PR campaigns. I'm so done, like, honestly. I'm so done, like, trying to pretend like I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. They're going to implode social media and make a government-ran fucking thing that they can spy and monitor. Because what they're basically saying is we need something. Right now, I went crazy with the robot, so that's the worst case fucking Terminator movie.
You amplified it to make a point.
Yeah, like, let's go dystopian, crazy science fiction movie, fine. But let's get practical then. Okay, the government steps in, it gets federal funding, and then it's now going to allow to have constrainments. It's not going to be free. You know, if the government gets involved, it's not freedom. unelected bureaucrats is like the least of our concern, right? Because the whole idea of the internet is that it is an extension of the freedom of speech. So we don't have there isn't a person that mitigates freedom of speech, but you're going to have, I know this is going to happen. They've always talked about the freedom of the internet being a problem to globalism and global government. So this is why they hate it. The Chinese, quite frankly, regulate their internet. So that's weird, Dave. If our Facebook in America can't do it, but they can do it in China.
It's almost like the system's already allowed for it to happen in countries where this kind of thing is happening. And this is also kind of weird. It's almost like a workaround so the government can silence your speech without actually technically violating the First Amendment, because the First Amendment says government can't regulate speech, but the government's not really regulating speech. Facebook is. The government's just looking out and helping control all of it.
Yeah, I mean, what's the solution? Does Facebook get a government-appointed board member? You know what I mean? Or does Facebook become now a part of the government? The government like contracts Facebook to combat. Like, what does this look like? I can't fill out I can't work for somebody doing work without a 1099 form. Well, what's Facebook gonna be?
I mean,
is Facebook gonna be a black ops contractor that basically has diplomatic immunity or corp, whatever the fuck they call it, and they're going to be able to just wreak havoc on the ability to censor? I use censor very lightly, or let's just say they're able to restrict any path of information they want. Now, do you remember a little while ago, I think it was earlier this year or last year, they talked about throttling the internet and the, what was the thing called that they're saying, like, the big tech, they use more internet so they should pay more?
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the exact term for it.
Yeah, it was an Obama era thing. But my point is, like I think some of this is even tied into that. They're gonna look at, like, we got to think about the internet like a feet of water. You know, like right now it's Niagara Falls. They can't stop it, and they're gonna put it through pipes. And when they put it through pipes, they're gonna give it boundaries and dimensions and everything else. And once again, the Chinese government, if the Chinese government can censor 1 billion people on the internet, Facebook can 100% do whatever the fuck they want. You know what I mean? Like, these people that make these systems know what they can and can't do. It's just what we will accept and what's allowable in our societies. China will censor everything they don't like. In America, we're supposed to have the complete opposite. So them coming out and saying we can't put an end cap, we can't define, we can't, once again, Pandora's box, we can't put Facebook back in the tube. Them admitting that, this is going to hyper accelerate. Government overboard, foreign overboard, whatever the fuck it's going to be. They're going to use some kind of filter, some kind of system to constrain us. And I've talked about it personally. I've experienced it, but far bigger people like Crowder have experienced it. The whole hidden algorithm thing that wasn't a thing, but it really is kind of a thing. Oh, you just need to use certain keywords. But then they can put you on lists and you won't come up in search menus.
Yeah, those keywords go both ways.
Yeah, that's the fucking cherry on top of, this is the whole iceberg thing. We're only looking at a very small portion of what is coming because the government has seen, once again, we don't have private property, and they've openly told you they're going to combat misinformation, which anything to the government is going to be misinformation.
And
so,
for
because
people
if it doesn't come from the government, in theory, the government combating misinformation basically means anything that doesn't come from the official government narrative is misinformation by default.
And for people who think this is crazy, just remember that the Biden administration wants to use the Department of Labor to mandate vaccinations to companies with 100 people or more. I mean, that's worse, honestly. But so this is nothing. This is.
Do you remember too? I've seen a video a bunch of times for bringing up the vaccine thing. They came out for over the whole course of the year. The government doesn't have this authority. I don't think we should. Fauci, Pelosi, Biden, Jen Psaki, all of them. They all came out and said, yeah, we really don't have the power. This isn't really a position. And look at how quick these fucking people change. We're coming up. It's the anniversary. This week was like the anniversary. It's like 1.5 years of 2 weeks to flatten the curve right now. So go fuck yourself, government. I know what you're doing. Like, I listened to Little Peterson this week. I don't want to get too far ahead, but one of the things he brought up was when he studied 20th century history, one of the big problems people had was they allowed things that were immoral to happen, and they knew it, but they didn't do anything against it. So for all these people that say it's a minority of parents fighting against the mask mandate in school, for example, it's literally minorities that will fucking fix the world. Just like our founding fathers, the tireless, irate minorities.
Going from the minorities to the person who was elected by the majority.
There's no way that guy fucking won, dude. I'm telling you, there's no way, man. I heard at the Bills game there was fuck Biden chants going at the Bills game, man. Like,
headlines. Pentagon confirms children were killed in drone strike in Afghanistan. Driver killed in the drone strike had nothing to do with ISIS.
Oh, that's weird.
The target of the drone strike in which children were killed wasn't even involved in ISIS. And I think Rand Paul grilled somebody in the government on this. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Mitt Romney. Was it Mitt Romney? No, it was Rand Paul. Rand Paul's grilled somebody on this, and they said, well, we're doing some research to figure out, what this guy was. And he's like, shouldn't you have done that before you drone struck him?
Before you murdered him?
You just strike first, do investigations later? This is everything wrong with government.
The same part. I hate it. I hate these people. These people know what they're doing. I mean, like, just the idea. This is the problem when these people are fucking unelected. Because Rand Paul, an elected person who has to face consequences to things he says and do, he has to go to somebody who's fucking appointed. So, like our people that are in charge, right, have to talk to the people that actually are really doing the shit.
Yeah, it seems it seems a little backwards.
It's not how it works.
And again, I'm sorry. Biden said in the last total disaster that he caused that he takes full responsibility. Does he take responsibility for this? People in Afghanistan are not super pumped right now, believe it or not. They want justice. They want people held responsible. Are they wrong? Should they? If Afghanistan, a leader in Afghanistan had a drone strike on our country and killed a bunch of kids, would we be mad about it? Wouldn't we want answers? Wouldn't we want people held responsible? Biden's going to get off and he's not even going to have to answer a question on it. He sends his lackeys in that are appointed, and Rand Paul has to deal with them. What is Biden going to do about it?
Yeah, what can Rand Paul do other than just get reelected? He can't even make a fucking change, even though the guy should be, like, literally held up in society. Be like, hey, look at this guy. He's, like, really got a good point. Like he did with Fauci! Correct. Well, like, it's like for real. Like, this is really a shame. This is really like a shame. A big problem of our country is like these. I mean, this is the military-industrial complex, big pharma, big business, whatever fucking corrupt cartoon organization that you want to plug into. Like,
I don't want to stop you. I don't want to stop you and get off topic. But do you remember Bernie Sanders, like this big thing with like big pharma, and he was all, yeah, he's gonna fight all these big evil corporations, big pharma, and big whatever. Where is that gone? Have you even heard from Bernie Sanders? What?
No, all we hear about is, I encourage every American to get vaccinated.
I'm sorry. Is Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, are they not big pharma? Who's big pharma?
Once again, Johnson & Johnson's paying out millions or tens of millions of dollars in opiate deaths caused by overprescription. While at the same time, I'm told that I might have to get forced to go. I seen this meme today. 2 weeks to flatten the curve turned into 3 jabs to feed your family.
Yeah.
So talking about mixing the shots together, you get fucking 7 fucking COVID shots.
If you get 2 flu shots, if you get 2 jabs and a booster for COVID, and if you take 3 polio vaccines, maybe the effects will be less severe. We don't know. We haven't done studies. There's no long-term testing. Maybe it's not even as good as just getting the virus and naturally. But, we'll figure it out. Also, it's not going to stop the spread, and take it anyway. Especially
it's unvaccinated. It's unvaccinated people's problem that the virus is spreading. Be like, well, it's more communicable now. You said it's evolved. Okay, so get the vaccine, but it doesn't stop the spread. Shut up, you science denier. Like, excuse me? And be like, oh, and we're overwhelmed in hospital beds. We'll stop forcing people to get fucking shots. Do you know locally here, Brian Higgins, representative, congressman, literally was on the phone with a hospital and their union saying there's going to be fucking resignations over the mandate.
Yes. I have heard about this, not globally, but nationally. I didn't know. I haven't heard about it from the Buffalo area, but yeah.
Yeah, this is what I mean when I tell you people I know aren't going to keep going to work. This is, dude, people are making their fucking decision, man.
This is just anti-science nurses.
No, this is build back better, destroy America through globalism, David. I'm done skirting around it. This is the destruction of everything in your fucking economy for a global gain by communists. This is all communists. Oh, we can't. Facebook's out of our control. Well, what are you doing then? We're just going to give it to China, give it to the government. Healthcare's a problem. Going to give this to the government. It's already a fucking nightmare. This is crazy. This is crazy. I'm done skirting around the idea. This is by design. These people know what they're doing. They know when they have these implementations, and then they're gonna blame unvaccinated people. So then you can cause a ruckus in between neighbor and neighbor instead of the neighbor, us versus the elites. This is fucking ludicrous.
This is why we want to just remind everyone it's the elites versus you. It's not me versus you.
I mean, I saw a thing today from a very wealthy person, influencer. He's almost like too obnoxious with it. I won't reference him. But he's on YouTube. He's got some good stuff that I follow. And he said, tax the rich. He's like, good. He's like, we make more money when you tax the rich. Because these people know how to skirt the shit. I looked it up. It's like people who make I think it's up to $55,000 pay less than 1% of your income to taxes.
Yeah.
It's still a lot of money. It's 1% of your money. I understand. I think you should pay zero, but what you call me a fucking terrorist?
You've kind of derailed my headlines because I have them in a certain order usually, but this is just too easy to segue to. Headlines! AOC's tax the rich dress designer owes tax debt in multiple states. Nice.
It's a fucking comic book, bro. We're in a fucking comic book.
This shit's better than anything I can write. It
writes itself.
I would like to thank them for creating this. I mean, this is the easiest shit I've ever... Are you serious?
Tax the rich and the average pays $30,000 at the Met Gala. Everybody's probably vaccinated at the event, right? And the only people not wearing masks are the people that get photographs taken of them. I mean, if this isn't let them eat cake, dude.
They had to have known, right? When he was spray painting this fucking dress or whatever it was, he had to have seen the irony in this.
AOC's kind of hot too and look good in the dress. That's what pissed me off. You gotta make a political statement when you look slutty and hot in a dress.
Yeah, I'll be honest. You don't have that much of that on the right. Rand Paul wouldn't look very good in a dress. I'm just being honest. I love the guy. I think he does a great job. I don't want to see him in a dress. I really don't. Thomas Massey, he's a solid constitutionalist, but he shouldn't be in a dress.
All the hot people on the right are in media, or they always talk about, or they're, running a fucking business, doing real stuff.
Ryan, you had talked about a few weeks ago about how the inflation was up to some tremendous number, double what it normally is. This is good.
17-year high inflation.
Yeah. If only
we're gonna raise minimum wage. If only dollars valued already.
If only anyone who knew anything about economics had saw this coming. Headlines: Inflation has turned a $15 an hour wage into a setback. Wages have risen this year, but inflation has made that money worth less than before, preventing any meaningful improvements in living standards.
So you make less. Weird. You made fucking less.
It's almost like when they wanted to tie minimum wage into inflation, we said here on the right, and us personally, that seems like a bad idea because doesn't that drive inflation? Well, here we are. How do you not see that? Of course they see that. It's not incompetence. These people know what they're doing.
This is a planned takeover of your life, and they have won. These people have won. This is fucking ludicrous. I know nothing, okay? I know nothing, and I know this is a bad idea.
I love when you always preface like a statement like, I'm not a doctor, but like we're not economists, but come on,
like,
obviously.
Jesus Christ! I read a couple things a week. I spend like a few hours of my weekly life. And I'm like, I don't know. Let's kind of just wait, see how this looks. And within a week, we do this weekly. Benefit of, once again, I don't have to make content every day, so I'm kind of privy to that. But Jesus, I can do this once a week and literally see. I forget what it was 2 weeks ago, but then the following week, the very fucking thing happened. It's like
the invisible arm of the government.
Yeah.
You said teachers were the invisible arm of the government, and then we had a thing about teachers unions emailing the CDC to reinstate mask mandates.
We think of the children. It's only a minority of children. It's not even the children. They're children. They're like, oh yeah, I'm just doing what I'm told. What? Remember when Hitler had the Hitler Youth? I know I'm going, this is a stretch, people. The fuck? Well, Hitler killed people. Well, the government murdered people in nursing homes.
Yeah, like the government's never killed anybody. That's weird. It's almost like we just had a headline about it.
They got Fuck Island. Fuck Island out there. It's the only one we know about, though. Our fucking president's son is a crackhead with fucking strippers.
Government wouldn't kill children. Headlines: Pentagon confirms children killed in drone strike. That's weird. Strange. Come on. Seriously, no one sees this? This is ridiculous. It's easy. It's not even hard. We don't even do extensive research. I literally scroll on my phone for 10 minutes and I find this shit. What are people even doing? What do you do with your life that you don't see this coming?
It's like the greatest hobby I've ever come up with.
You have to put no effort into it at all to see this stuff.
It's almost funny at this point.
It is. It's comical.
We literally predict it.
I mean, come on. Like the AOC thing. Like, come on, that's the best comedy you could ever write, except this headline right here. Headlines: Dems support Florida landowner evicting unvaccinated tenants. Come on. Are you serious? You couldn't even evict them when they didn't pay rent. This is ridiculous.
Science? Well, what about the economists?
Trust the science. Unvaccinated tenants cause COVID better than vaccinated tenants. Like, this is Dude, outrageous.
I told my friends this weekend, do you remember before COVID when we had the best of everything? Historical employment, black, white, purple, cream.
I'm going to be less white for a second.
Like, gas was low, all these things, unemployment, just every metric. Trump was up there smashing balls, and then there was the whole discussion, well, this is Obama, and this is this, and whatever, it didn't matter. I don't even care anymore. I don't even care anymore. It could have been fucking George Washington that did that. I don't even care anymore. Everything's fucked up. Everything.
Well, that's Trump, though. That was Trump.
Dude, I'm having trouble buying beer in America.
Did you see?
Dude, this is a company.
Not to derail your thing, but Sam Adams has a beer that's so like potent or whatever. It's illegal in like 10 or 15 states.
What the fuck are we doing?
Not the point, but
I know. I'm so let down in this country lately. It's just like, dude, like, come on. There's fuck Joe Biden chance. We're 300,000 people this is just a minority of people. Let's just extrude this. If that's how fucking 1% of the population feels right now. Yeah,
but these are also in cities.
Yeah, that makes it worse.
This is in rural redneck of areas where they have major sports teams. This is in cities where the Biden votes are coming from. This isn't good.
There's no way. Dude, we went to bed. Everything's red. We're like, fuck yeah. Wake up. No, we lost all these headlines. AZ Maricopa County audit is scheduled for the 24th of September. They got all the routers. They got all the thing, and they're going to try to prove it in the court of law. Why is this important, people? Because this is one of the very few places that they've been able to legally win the battles to be able to count the ballots. Everybody else was selling the machines and, they self-destruct when we're done with it. Do you remember when there was one of them had a flood inside and then it comes out that it wasn't a flood? They fucking lied about
Yeah.
Come on! Everything. Inflation's at a 5-year high. Chinese people are fucking doing this and hacking all our shit. We got the government working with social media, which, let's be honest, everybody's on all the time because you're not following news segments. Like, what the fuck? What in the actual fuck? The day of football starting, the president comes out 2 hours later and releases a fucking vaccine mandate on private companies. And then he says, we're urging the federal government to do the same. Well, no shit. You're telling me what to do. There's no way this is by accident. There's no way Donald Trump lost the election. I'm saying it. Fuck you, YouTube. There's no way. There's no way. If he lost, he may have lost at the physical number. Sure, I'll do that to tell your thing. But there is no way that people were not bullied, intimidated, and coerced into or lied to vote for Joe Biden. My entire country fell apart in 2 fucking years in front of me in real time. In real time. Every day we talk about this. Every week we document this. In real fucking time. Just today, AOC taxed the rich. The person that made the dress is a fucking tax evasionist. A chronic tax quitter. Probably owes people money, too. How great would it come out if AOC didn't even pay her for the dress? Oh, it was a tax write-off. I mean, like, these people aren't dumb, man. Like, come on. Like, we give them too little credit, and they give us too little credit. Because they think you're so dumb, you're just going to keep going. You're just going to keep going to work. You're going to keep scrolling on your fucking phone instead of learning something. I keep seeing things go around about how they're like mocking basically people like us, David, that are like, trust the science, and we mock all this thing, and we act like we know all this shit. I'm not here acting. I'm literally here questioning everything I'm being told because the things you tell me automatically contradict each other.
That is science. That is science. That's what science is questioning. It's not just taking the word for it. It's doing the research, questioning. It's running tests until the thing can't be disproved anymore. It's not, well, seems like it would be right. Let's just roll with it.
Let's just use more science terms. What about plausible deniability? Compartmentalization, that levels of the government don't know what's going on with each other. Overton window, where they push extreme ideology and then they use that ability to move the metrics so that since we're not going to take all your shit. I'd be like, well, how about this? We'll only take a half of your stuff. Like, all right, that sounds better than all of my stuff. Like, that's an oversimplification, but they do these things. There's think tanks that think of this shit. That's all psychology. That's all science. Right? We're told trust the science, the very science about how we're all group mentality thinkers, and biology says we all think alike when we're in large groups. We're all more likely to run towards the same exit and trample over people. Most people in a fire all follow one person. It's fucking proof. I don't know. I'm sure there's plenty of videos that talk about it. But, like, why are we negating psychology as a science when you're telling me, you literally fucking lie to me? We catch the news lying all the time.
And again, this goes back to what I said about Biden, but who takes responsibility for this? Nothing happens. There's no actions for this. There's no responsibility.
The real people that are supposed to take responsibility is us, the people. We, the people, the voting people, the conscious people. This is our problem. This is what we get. But nobody sees it that way. And that's fine. But I will, like I said, I will not follow science that empowers authoritarians. It's not that I'm not following science. I just don't believe authoritarians.
And this isn't a call to violence by any means, but I just want people to be careful and cautious. The American people feel like the one thing they have control of and the one thing they can do is vote. And it's a peaceful way to change your government. But if they take that away, it's going to get dangerous.
There's no fucking way Trump lost, dude. There's no way. There's no way that.
And then we had the. And I don't think this is.
Wait, everything was awesome. Everything was awesome. Like, literally everything was awesome that we could measure. Now, whether or not those numbers are real is a debate. I'm fine with that. But the things they measure to lie to me about were all fucking great. Come on. And everybody I know knows it. We all collectively, I think, know it. We all collectively understand. I saw a thing today about gas prices rising. They're like, this is why. This is why Biden is wrong, or it was basically about why Biden said gas is high, and then the news is tearing apart while gas. And once again, the ability for them to have nuance under Biden was not there under Trump, and then you use that to fucking influence my whole country. Like, we influence foreign elections with a YouTube channel that's relatively small, but CNN and Fox News, they don't influence shit. They're not propaganda.
Was it New Zealand?
Yeah.
It was New Zealand. Sorry again, New Zealand.
Your hot prime minister or wherever that was.
Was that also New Zealand?
I don't know. I can't keep up with all those Europe countries. New Zealand's and fucking Indonesia.
Well, you want to take another crack at that?
Trust geology.
Trust the geology. Yeah, it was all one continent at some point anyway. Who cares?
Yeah, Pangea. Look, the globe fits together. How the fuck do we know that?
Because it looks the same, Ryan. It's science.
From space. What's underwater, Dave? Do you think the water underneath
There's
is all
tectonic plates. You obviously didn't go to science class. That's why you don't trust it.
Yeah, just happens to break this.
You unvaccinated bastard getting other people sick.
Yeah, getting other people sick that don't know they're sick because they're vaccinated, so the symptoms are as strong.
Speaking of, we have to sell my birthday tickets. Eve got me tickets to the Falcons game in Buffalo.
And why?
Because they reinstated the vaccination policy at the stadium.
I thought they weren't doing that anymore.
Well, they weren't, which is why I went to the home opener and spread my sickness all over that city.
Do you know why them fucking pricks did it? Do you know why? Because they're telling me that my kids have to be masked at school, but 70,000 grown adults can go scream their head off, and then literally the next day, school starts. But my kid has to wear a fucking mask. Oh, it's only a minority of parents. Yeah, there's a minority of parents that see common sense. You're telling me this is fine, but my fucking kids got to get the fuck out of here. I hate this.
I'd like to point out we were there, and everybody was very responsible and masked.
Sure, there was 6 feet between all seats.
I got a survey from the Bills organization after the game asking me about a bunch of stuff, and like half of it was about COVID. It was kind of crazy.
Were you open and honest? You told them that?
Absolutely open and honest.
You said
everybody was masked, and I put in the comment section that no need to reinstate the vaccination policy.
Everybody had 3 masks. It was tremendous.
I don't think it's the Bills organization though. I think they're forced by Erie County, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and Erie County's got to cover their ass because once again they said it was okay for 70,000 grown adults to go scream on fucking Sunday, and then on Monday when their kids go to school they got to act like they're fucking prison guards. Mark Poloncarz knows what people say about him on the internet. And
I'd like to point out the woman who sat behind me was a teacher. I'm just saying. And for what it's worth,
she contacted the CDC. I hate these fucking people, bro. I really do. I'm just beginning to you're telling me your patient's wearing thin on unvaccinated. Just keep going. Keep going. Can't wait to be standing at the corner with my fucking nipples painted. Fuck the government and a fucking megahorn. Fuck you.
Ryan is very slowly on the show turning into Alex Jones.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I'm a peaceful person. Believe me, I don't want problems. But what the fuck?
They're defying the woolly mammoths.
Yeah, they want humans aren't real, right? Birth doesn't fucking start at conception and all this shit. We're gonna bring back a dead animal from fucking DNA. What the fuck? Is it alive or not? Is it that's dead DNA that you're just fucking with a fucking, what are you hooking up jumper cables to DNA strands and just sparking them back to life? Are you putting them in a little tube and spinning them with some fucking fluid that makes it fucking grow legs? What are we doing? Is it chia pet? You add water? That's not alive.
You've obviously never seen Jurassic Park.
Yeah, just an extinct fucking My favorite is when they talk about people with egos, but it's obvious that certain classes of people have the largest ego you've ever seen, and they're all fucking scientists. Because they think they're going to put a thermometer on the globe, be like, well, this is too hot. Be like, how the fuck do you know that?
I saw
person in charge of the entire temperature of the earth. How fucking dumb does that sound? How dumb does that sound? We could barely handle the president.
I saw a thing. They were on Mars, that helicopter that they flew. Well, they said, oh, it's getting harder to fly on Mars now. Oh, geez, that's weird. We talked about this already. It's like, oh, you don't know everything about a foreign planet? That's strange.
Yeah, like, yeah, you went up there with titanium drill bits. You found out you need, I don't know, carbon titanium drill bits. Oh, that's fucking weird. Can't drill a hole and fill a fucking sample. It's too hot on Earth. How the fuck do you know that? How do you know that? You don't know that. Once again, oh, we could blow the whole world up with atomic missiles. Look up the fucking asteroid that wiped everything out. It's like equivalent to millions of atomic missiles, and it left an 8-mile crater. But you're gonna tell me humans can destroy everything? Man, get the fuck out of here.
I like the assumption that just because the globe is a little warmer, or just because the water level's a little higher, it's inherently bad for humans and Earth. We don't even know.
Yeah,
We don't know that. It's great. Look at the greenhouse gases. The trees are growing better than ever. There are more plants than ever. There's more oxygen in the air than ever.
Favorite thing ever is the word sustainability. It's not sustainable. How the fuck do you know that? Humans been around. We've been able to just write shit down for a few thousand years. You're like, oh, this is back in Jesus's time. They were starving. Be like, okay, sorry, I throw food out now. Like,
I saw a thing. The PepsiCo is teaming up with I don't remember exactly who it was, but to make like meatless options for snacks and stuff. And I was like, meatless snacks? Like, I don't know, Lay's potato chips? Like, what are we even talking about right now?
they don't want you eating meat because they don't want you to get sustainability, people. They don't want you to be sustained and have fucking animal protein, which literally grew the human mind. Trust the science, right? Fire, meat, a bigger head, buildings, cars, alcohol in a bottle. What the fuck? We exhibit these people, these scientists exhibit anti-human behavior. We see it with the fucking abortionists, the climate change people, and these fucking meat freak fucks. I hate these people. I'm really honestly like I'm a very peaceful person. I don't want problems. But we need to burn these people politically.
We are way past any headlines I have. I didn't notice you were doing show prep during the show today. Did you do show prep before the show today, Ryan? Do you have anything you want to get to before you touch on your Decembertainment?
Hold on. I'm checking my show prep list here.
Oh my.
My sister sent me something, and it was, quote, headlines! And then I'm just trying to
I like that she's just keeping up with the show.
Yeah, people know. My family knows. None of them watch, which is the funniest thing to me. Like, they all come up and talk politics with me and be like, yeah, I know about that. I covered it on my podcast. If you were to listen... Yeah, I don't care. You're not going to follow my art. I wouldn't follow yours either, you fucks. We didn't touch on the Nicki Minaj thing, which is hilarious. Nicki Minaj...
Yeah, I'd rather not touch Nicki Minaj, but you can if you'd like to.
I'd touch her.
Yeah, well, I don't want my hand to fall off, so...
They'll just fucking 3D print me another one. Yeah, she came out and said that her cousin or somebody in like Nicaragua. I don't know. I'm very loosely following this because it's hilarious. But Nicki Minaj says one of her relatives in a foreign country had swollen testicles from the COVID vaccine. And she just like encouraged people to do her own research, and they banned her from Twitter.
Which is weird, because she's swollen many testicles in her day.
Suck the children from the next 10 years from your sack. Oh, yeah, but my favorite thing was, like, people saying, You can't get swollen testicles. That's not true. Like, how the fuck do you know? He could have really got swollen testicles from fucking the vaccine. You don't know.
Yeah, no research whatsoever. We're just going to assume that's not true.
I also don't think...
It might not be true. For the record, I don't know if it's true. We haven't done the studies, so we're just going to assume it's not true until we can prove it is?
I also don't think a man would lie about swollen testicles. This is not really like something I would advertise.
It could have been it could be unrelated. We don't know.
Because her relative is famous? Okay. Maybe.
Oh, I'm just saying.
This hilarious thing.
For many reasons.
This arbitration of just banning people on the internet because they say shit you don't like. But they don't have control over it, remember?
Oh, yeah, there's no control.
Once again, Donald Trump, his words caused an insurrection that was actually just a riot, mostly peaceful riot. And
but the FBI researched and found that there was no coordinated plots.
Yeah.
And there was no guns found at the insurrection.
Yeah, we banned him because his words incited riots, but the Taliban on Twitter is fine. And anti-government communist behavior is fine. Fucking
meanwhile, Biden's drone striking children, he's on.
This is a theft of your country, man. Like, I'm so tired hiding behind it. I got the drones. All right, just two quick things. All right, I seen a thing about French special forces were killed an ISIS leader that was behind the attack that killed the 10 members when the Taliban and everything went through Iraq. And I know I have said on this podcast, fuck the French. So, fuck the French. It's a shame, goddammit, that our own military couldn't handle something. You know, this was in Africa. They went and killed this guy, so obviously.
Well, to be fair, we tried to kill an ISIS leader, and we ended up killing children and a guy who wasn't in ISIS. So, we were close. Look,
the military is very good at what they do. This is military incompetence. I wonder if this fake drone strike by fake I mean at the wrong person, has anything to do with, like, I don't know, like a top general under Donald Trump secretly making phone calls to the Chinese government to ensure them that we're not going to start any new wars with them.
That's weird. That's not treason at all. Actually, wait, no. I correct myself. That's the definition of treason. Yep.
It's called Benedict Arnold. Like, literally the first treasonist in this country.
Well, at least he wasn't also coordinating with anybody in the government to let them know that this was Nancy Pelosi. Never mind. Yep. Nope.
While they were running an impeachment scandal on the fucking guy?
Yep. Nope. That's treason also. But I doubt anybody else knew about it. I'm sure Nancy Pelosi wouldn't tell other people in her party.
Yeah, just like she didn't tell. Never mind.
We really, just so we're clear, people really don't think that this guy was doing this and nobody else had any idea. He didn't tell anyone. Nobody on the Democratic Party knew about this.
Dude, Donald Trump couldn't drink diet soda without it getting in the news. Donald Trump drinks 12 Diet Cokes a day. It's not healthy and happy, and fucking he's going to die as the president with all this. But the military general, we have known elected people know about this stuff, and they're able to hold it. It's classified. It's fucking whatever corporate whatever bullshit immunity. Give me a break, dude. These people need to get the bricks beat off of them. I'm not calling for violence, you two. You guys killed everything. They don't not killed everything. I'm so tired of comedies, Dad. I can't even say, like, a super joking threat without, like, having the preface or ending.
They need to get the bricks beat off them. Long pause. Not calling for violence.
Hey.
We really, just so we're clear, we really aren't calling for violence. We do want to do this as peacefully as possible.
No,
that's why we have a show on the internet.
Yeah, I just physically get upset about this because it's at some point. I mean, this is actually going to segue nice into my Decembertainment. What's nice about the podcast, I'm able to cordon off effort and time to focus on politics. You know, I spend a little time during the week, but on the weekends I plan for this show, try to give you guys the best performance I can. But, like, it's nice being able to do that, because if I didn't have this, I'd be a lot more hostile in public. And I don't mean like I'd be beating people up, but I would just be like more on edge and stressed. And I know why people are on edge, because they don't necessarily have an outlet to talk about it. So I do appreciate the audience tuning in. I really do, because this hobby is like, it's passionate. But that's why I get so fucking aggravated, because we know. I mean, once again, I don't know anything, but Dave and I sit here every week for a little over a year now, and we just like, hey man, like this blah 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 blah. We compare what they tell us and contrast it with what happens. And we've established a track record that they're lying fucks and they know exactly what they're doing, and it's dangerous to democracy. So I just get upset. I get upset that it's easy for people to get brainwashed and propaganda when we have books about this. That, like, I don't expect everybody to know it, but that's what makes it so important about following the show, like, comment, subscribing to our channels and everything. Like, that's what's so important about talking politics, religion, and history, and getting common sense back into people. But so my Decembertainment this week, it's gonna kind of be a little different. But David, you like nature?
Nature?
Yeah.
I like nature to be outside of my house.
So you don't like willingly go into the wilderness?
Not really.
All right, that's fine. I mean, we have very nice parks. I haven't been on a park walk in a while. I took a park walk, but before I took a park walk, I woke up this morning, man.
Como Park has a decent little park walk.
There's a better park.
I'm sure there's better ones, but that's one I knew about.
Stiglmeyer is right up the street, man, and they have, like, it's more trail. Like, Como Park to me is more like you go there with your family, have a cookout, you do a little nature walk.
Yeah, they got that little wooded trail path. Is the other one you were talking about, is that where the...
It's a nature preserve.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't want to say the name of the place, but the place that we worked at, they used to have the parties.
Yeah, that was Como.
Oh, that was at Como?
Yeah.
That was a different part of Como Park than the part I'm talking about.
Yeah, but it's I like Stiglmeyer Park because it's like it's actually a nature preserve. A doctor lived there. It's like 50 or 60 acres or whatever. He lived there for many, many years. It's like the very early area of they have a thing called the History Trail, like one of the oldest white birch in New York State is in this park, and it's very cool. Other things, there's like a rock that is the dividing between Cheektowaga and Depew. Just very cool. But I woke up this morning, man, and I was at peace, man. Like, full transparency. I've been working real hard to, like, try to make my life better. I always tell you guys, in some ways or another. But if you're my close friend and stuff, like, like I really talk about it. I really try to be better. I try to, I don't work out. But short of that, I pretty much do everything else in my life. I try to eat good. I try to stay educated. I try to have good relationships. I try to provide. I try to be a good father. I try to be a good brother, a good son. And I put a lot of time and effort into it. And this weekend in particular, Dave made the joke about me hanging stuff up in my apartment. And actually, but it feels like I live here. I actually spent some time. I've lived here since July 1st was when I moved in. So, like, it takes you a little while to get settled and stuff. And I was actually able to, like, I had a lot of stuff set up in my apartment, but I was able to actually, like, go through and finish, like, that last little bit and give everything its place and its home and reorganize the kitchen and all that dumb shit. I spent a lot of time over the last, like, 3 or 4 days doing it progressively. A couple hours this night, a couple hours this night. I hit it real hard yesterday. But I woke up this morning, man, and I felt like a level of peace that I never felt in my life. And it wasn't peace that I was like happy or something. It was just like, I told my dad, I guess, like, the peace I felt was just being content with everything at that moment. Like, my house is clean. I put work in, like, even though there's not all the, like, it was like I satisfied enough of my things in my life that when I woke up today that I actually felt like, wow, man. Like, just real peaceful. And it was very nice. And it got me thinking that maybe peace is like a lonely thing. Not because you're alone when you're peaceful, but it's hard. Not many people can get to peace, and that's why maybe you feel so alone when you're at peace. Maybe that's why, like, loneliness and peace are, like, synonymous with each other, because, like, you need, like, true solitude, true, like, I don't know, like good fortune and I don't know. I just felt so awesome. You know, I got a lot of sleep too. I've been sleeping. My work schedule changed my hours and the school thing with the kid. And like, there's just been so much. I actually want to, probably next week or so, I want to do like a more biography kind of the last year of my life and share my journey with some people because I think it would help people. But I've been through a lot of shit in the last year. I've changed a lot of my life and I haven't stopped. And so I know it's a long-winded way, but like to really actually wake up this morning and feel like peace and like at peace and like I didn't have any problems. You know, like even if I had a little ache or something in my knee or like I was hungry or like a little upset, I haven't been mad all day. Like it's just God's good. Like, you know, that's like all I thought to myself, man. Like the world is good, the universe is all that shit, man, is so true. I just felt so whole. And I want that for everybody in the world, the universe, dude. It was the greatest feeling I ever had. So I went on a nice park walk today. I didn't even look at a phone. I just put my phone in my pocket, got dressed, I'm walking around the park, and I realized something. People don't like seeing men without a shirt on in public, man. You know, when it's summer, when it's nice out, I wear just bottoms, you know, and shoes. I have no shirt.
See, I'm not that guy.
Yeah, no, dude. Not a lot of guys are that guy. You know how I know?
Even in my house, shirts on, dude.
Yeah, no, bro. Like, the only reason I put my tits away on is because I'm recording this for everybody. You know? So I thought maybe I was just so introspective, but it, like, hit me. I was like, no one else has got their shirt off. It's kind of hot out. And then I, like, hit me. I was like, maybe I'm just a weird fuck, you know? So I, like... But, dude, like, it was so crazy. Like, I watched, like, a blue herring hunt and, like... I don't know, I had like chipmunks run across my feet and snakes and like I was like, I don't know, super I was super with it today, man. I felt like super whole and awesome and stuff, and I just want to share that with everybody, that I hope you find peace. And you know, I joke a lot and I get upset and passionate on this podcast, so you know, maybe that's the outlet so I can have peace, or my quest for peace. But that's all I got for you guys this week. Thank you for tuning in. If you made it to the end, I appreciate it. If you liked the video, share the video. This is Dave and Ryan from December 1773. We premiere on Mondays at 7 Eastern. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube. And yeah, I look forward to everybody during the premiere. Dave and I will be there. Comment, please. That's engagement, super important. Help us grow. And yeah, until next week. And thank you, David, and thank you, everybody.
Awesome. Good show, Ryan.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Have a good one. Thanks, everyone.
Go Bills! I didn't even watch the game today, man.
35-0. We blew them out.
I caught the fourth quarter, like the last touchdown. I was like, yeah, go Bills! I was the nerd at the park, fucking, look at the birds and trees!
That's probably why everyone was looking at you weird. They're like, why isn't this guy home watching the Bills?
But, like, bro, you're, like, dressed for a tailgate. No shirt on, fucking bucket hat.
They probably just assumed you recently went through a table.
Yeah, they knew that I was... It's like, this guy's just recovering from last night's bender. I was not on a bender. I did go drinking. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you. See you, bud.